Hello, I'm Stephen, the man with the mustache, and welcome to The Creative Arts Show. This is the show where we aim to promote the creative arts industry and highlight the amazing people that work within it. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any episodes coming up in the future. But most importantly, share this content because we're really trying to help an industry that's been hurt by the coronavirus pandemic. And by sharing this video, you're going to help those that work within it. Spread the word and spread the love. Let's all help each other and, get excited for when this industry is back up and running. Joining us today will be the DJ and producer Dylan Haber, or more commonly known as Haber. I've known Dylan for many years now and it's been exciting watching his career progress. He's DJ'd at some of the biggest clubs in Australia and at some of the biggest festivals in Australia as well. But more than that, he's DJ'd internationally. His producing career has really taken off as well. He just released an album that went to #1 on Beatport. How awesome is that? Let's meet our guest. Well, Dylan Haber, thank you so much for joining us on the show. How you doing?
Fantastic, thank you, and thanks so much for having me, bro.
No worries, not a problem, anytime. And tell us, what do you do in the industry, and tell us a bit about yourself.
So I am a DJ, producer, label owner, and recent event manager. So I've been DJing for 9 years, producing for 8 years. Last year, I started up a brand, Capture, where I've been running my own parties, which has been going awesome. And as of this year, I started up my own record label, Imanatia Recordings. And with that, I released my album, Manifestation of the Celestial, on August 3rd.
Awesome. So you've been very busy and yes, your successful album. Tell us a bit about that. It went to #1 on Beatport, which is absolutely fantastic.
Thanks, heaps, man. Yeah, absolutely stoked with it. So yeah, went to #1 on the techno charts, and #1 on the melodic house and techno, then #1 overall Beatport releases, which was my greatest accomplishment so far with producing. So in terms of like the story of the album, so I started at mid-2018. And when I first started the album, I had this plan where I was like, all right, I'm going to finish each track, but as I go, I'm not going to mix down or master any of the tracks until I finish the last track. So with that, I'll be able to use my knowledge and talent as of then to go over each track to make sure like I'm 100% happy with how it's sounding. And so I'm very grateful that I made that plan for future Dylan. And yeah, I got it mastered by one of my best mates, Mike Blythe, who went over it. That took about, I finished it after a year. So mid-2019 it was done. Then it was a couple of months to get the mastering all finalized and the mixing down. And so yeah, Mike did the mastering, and then from the start of this year was organizing the label, and that was really cool to learn and expand my knowledge with music overall and sort of the business side of things and budgeting and all that stuff that I hadn't really thought about before. So yeah, it's been awesome, man. And yeah, super happy with the positive response it received, my mates and the fans of the album, the support was just incredible, and that's very awesome, heartwarming, man. And very blessed to receive it all.
That's awesome. And what a journey, making an album is, from the creative side to the promotion side to, you're essentially making something, a creative idea into a product for people to consume and enjoy, which is awesome. And you've done it, and it's been received very well. So who's listening to this album? Where's it being played? Is it all over the world? Are people listening to this album in Australia? What's going on?
So yeah, awesome question. So actually, I've had some fans hit me up from all the way in France and Japan as well, which is
crazy.
Blessing, and in Germany too. Absolutely wild, man. So cool. And yeah, it's definitely got its stronghold in Melbourne. That's the dominant listeners, which yeah is great. It's just been able to produce the sound for home, you could say. It's awesome to have people receiving it well and everything. Yeah, so really blessed awesome. For all that.
Now this one's your second album, and I believe you made your first album back when you were 18. And so it's been a few years between albums. I know you've done a lot of mixes and remixes and your own songs along the way, which has been awesome. So give us a quick summary of your DJ career. How long you've been DJing for, and what's been happening along the way?
So I've been DJing for 9 years all up. I started when I was 14 years old. And yeah, I remember my older brother, I was in the shower and he just came back from being in the city. And it's opens the bathroom door and it's Dill, you're a nerd with computers. You should be a DJ. I've always loved music. And it was just that moment. I'm hell yeah, let's do it.
All right, let me rinse off and dry off, and I'll give it a go. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, just get stuck into it. And yeah, so from like I started out at like house parties like around Macedon Ranges, so like hometown, which is like awesome DJing, like 15, 16-year-olds and like 18s and stuff, and like they were like good fun, and I just like was finding like my passion more and more with each gig that I was playing. And then when I was 16 years old, I played my first club gig at Mischief Makers at the Milk Bar at Corova in Melbourne. I was a little 16-year-old, had to have a guardian with me, and that was that was an experience. Walking into a club, seeing everything was just like, oh, I love this shit. So
yeah,
from
cool,
then on,
man.
just like, yeah, it was just awesome. And from then on, yeah, like that's where I was a lot more focused. Like that's where the production came into it as well. And so with the production and DJing working hand in hand together, I got lessons when I first started out by Zoolander, another Melbourne DJ and producer, and he was my sensei for 6 months, which was awesome. And then from then on, it was sort of like self-taught and learning off peers and everything. And so yeah, I got signed to Lucky Entertainment when I was 16 years old. That was a big dream come true for me.
Yeah.
Then, thank you, man. It was a big dream come true for me then, because Zoolander, he was a part of that agency. So I like seen it as like, oh, my master's on there. I've got to get there too. And like to have that, I actually got the email to get signed on them when I was in English class. And I just remember just dropping all my shit, just going out and leaving the classroom and just being like, yeah. And so that was like real big G up. And yeah, from there, I was just like really focusing hard and, really looking forward to turning 18 to be able to play at clubs more regularly.
Clubs legally.
And so, yeah, that's it, and legally, yes. So, yeah, like as I went on to, as I turned 18, I then played like my first interstate gig and was playing at a lot more different venues. And in that time of being 18, though, I was really... since I was like young, getting signed to Lucky, I was still discovering and learning. So between like 18 and 19, I was really figuring out, where I want to go with my music, what's the direction. Because I was sort of like you could say I was like a tadpole dropped in the middle of the ocean. You could say it was just like a whole world of everything to go off. Yeah. And so in that time, I discovered the like techno scene. And like when I was younger, like I used to listen to techno, not even like think of like what it was, and same with trance as well. And I started to I attended my first techno event, which was massive artist Pig and Dan, and there was only like 20 people at the venue, and they're huge now. But it was a really cool experience, and I just loved the passion and just like everyone in the venue, how much they were there for a good time with mates, but like most importantly, there for the music.
Who would you say some of your influences are? I guess most recently in this most recent album, who are your influences?
Oh, awesome question. So as of now, I would say there's a very high energy techno artist named Cobbersill who I really look up to. And I will say I have a range of inspiration for myself. So there's even like across from like bands to, like DJs, like Renio Zonneveld, here's another big one for me. Like Quiver, like honestly, like I have like this big bunch of artists and like bands and even like sound like movie soundtrack producers and that I really like, they all play a part in gathering my inspiration to create what I create. Yeah, that's it. I will also just say with the DJing, where that's like some of like its gold perks that it's gotten me is like I did get to fly over to South Korea and play in Seoul, which was like awesome. And last year I played 2 gigs in Tokyo in January. One was actually on my birthday too, which is like big milestone, massive dream come true.
Yeah, and obviously, unfortunately, we're not playing gigs at the moment. And so how's COVID affected you? What were you doing back in March and when everything stopped, and what have you been doing since?
All right, so at the time we were very lucky, like the crew and I. So we actually were able to throw. Well, like we didn't even know this, like that it was going to be it, but like we were able to throw the last takeover at Revs. So Capture did a takeover there, and that was on the Sunday right before everything happened. So
this is Revolver, the infamous Revolver.
Yeah, best place to be. And so I was, like very grateful for that, as that was a big like, that was a big accomplishment for myself and the Capture brand. Like, I only played my first gig there on my birthday in January this year, and to then be able to throw an event there was like incredible. So I was riding that high throughout that week of just like feeling so good about the gig. And, you know, then reality hit me where it was upsetting at first, you know, like just losing, you know, like the thing that like gets me going, like my passion and all that. But honestly, like with some good thought, I remember I was driving home from dinner with a mate, and I was just giving it some good thought and like spoke about it with a few people, and I honestly flipped that, like the negativity it was causing and like the downness of it to a positive. And like in this time, man, I set up like a routine that I've been following. Like I always had a planner that I went off, but having this, like, it was like a daily routine to keep me going and keep me busy, keep the days flowing smoothly. So I've been, you know, like embracing this time to progress with my productions, and also embracing the self-growth that this time has provided for us.
So what does that routine look like? What are some of the things that you do on a daily basis?
Alrighty, so I set aside about 4 hours for producing that I will be doing, and I've also been doing up my studio in this time. So the studio is looking like really awesome, like really happy with how it's coming along. I'm like almost like at the final stages of like treating the room and everything. Also, I've been helping out mum and dad around the house, been doing like a lot of cleaning and stuff for them, which has been like awesome to like be helping them out this time. And yeah, been working out as well, focusing on that, listening to a lot of podcasts, and just like getting a lot of like the business side of the music done, and like getting like doing up my socials and everything as well, and just really getting it all going.
So yeah, you know, one of my questions I ask people on the show is, you know, have you been staying creative? But you know, I think you've been staying very active and very up and about, you know, getting up and about, so you don't lose interest and get lazy. You know, a lot of people can get lazy in this sort of time, and I'm guilty of that for sure. But you know, it's important to have that focus and you know, use it to be creative as well, which you're doing, which is absolutely awesome. And now talking about Revolver's actually shut down because of this pandemic. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So
you
played essentially the last gig at the famous
which is very lucky. Like, even I'm so glad too that I got a lot of that on recording as well, so it's like been good. Like every few nights I'll like just look over it and be like, oh, it's a good day.
So have you been producing more tracks? Obviously the album was released when?
So August 3rd, it was released, the album. So in that time, so since the beginning of isolation, actually, I'm onto track number 10 now. And so, been very productive. Each track is like flowing well. Like there is those few times where writer's block does kick in, as it does. But like, you know, that's where having that routine and even just having just Dill time and just relaxing, that's where that comes into play to help out as well.
Get some flow back in. And have you experimented with any of the DJ streaming or doing live streams, or have you done any sort of online events?
So I did play one live stream, but I had actually thought this was going to be for the album release before the new restrictions came in. But I'm still going to do this. Like, I have this plan where I'm going to do an all originals live stream. So I'll play all the album plus the unreleased tracks that I've been working on in this time, and get like that professionally done up, and like hopefully be able to go to a cool area, or if not, just in the backyard in good old Riddles Creek, where we have the beautiful mountain view.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And we'll provide information for you in our description for this video, so people can find your stuff, which will be awesome, and they can connect with you, which will be cool. And when you do that live stream, they can be first in line to go check that out, which will be cool. You've been working on tracks and so on, but where do you see this industry going once this pandemic's over? Or how do you see the future for this industry?
So it's been like interesting to think about this over time. Like at first, like it was really distorted, and I felt like the best thing for me to do is to not just get so wrapped up in the uncertainty and just take each day as it comes. But in terms of the future, especially with like some podcasts I've listened to with some artists, like I imagine when everything comes back there, it's going to be just smaller crowds at venues at first. I feel like will be how we'll go. And then from there it'll be slowly building up. And in my opinion, I feel like we are probably pretty much the bottom of the list for the government to like bring back, like especially like gigs and especially festivals as well, like that.
Have you got any support throughout this pandemic from the government?
So yeah, there's a really cool grant called it was the Support Act that I know they've helped out a lot of artists. The JobKeeper also I'm very grateful to be receiving as well in this time. So yeah, like that's where like, you know, there are parts where they are helping out the industry, but like there's just so much and there's so many people involved, you know, like, so it's very hard times for a lot of people, and I do, you know, feel for everyone in the industry, but you know, I do have this positive outlook where this is a good refresh for us all, and when we come back, like even if it's like slow steps, like we are going to go at those slow steps at full force and do what we do best.
We cannot wait, and that's why we do this show, to get people excited for that, which is awesome. Now, it needs to be recognised, Dylan, that your album's done fantastically, and to paint a picture for people, you live in Riddles Creek, which is about 45 minutes northwest of Melbourne, and it's a small little town just north of Sunbury where I live, and it's very small. Not many people know about it, but you're definitely putting it on the map, and for your music to be heard internationally is fantastic, and to be producing from home in Riddles Creek, you know, well done to you to be able to get your music out there, you know what I mean, and be able to, you know, give your sound to the world.
Oh, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate that big time. It is really cool just coming from like small little country town to be able to do what I do. So very grateful for it all, and appreciate your kind words as always, Steve.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. And, you know, people should go check out your album, give it a listen. And my favourite song on the album is Purple Squid.
Purple Squid, nice.
It's a very hard hitter, got some wicked bass sounds in there, and some big epic bass synths and so on, which I really like. And yeah, the whole album's just a beautiful journey, a cosmic journey. It takes your mind to other places, and I love music that's either, you know, really progressive, takes you on a journey, or it's just hard hitting and gives you a reaction straight away, which I think it does both, which is really cool. So well done.
Man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Like even in the like most part of it, where like the support means a lot, it is telling a journey of a chapter of my life. So yeah, to receive those kind words from you means a lot, man. So thank you so much.
It's been hard-earned and well-deserved. So thank you so much for joining us on the show, Dylan. But like always, we always finish with something fun and uplifting. So we're going to play a little game. Now, as you are a DJ and a producer, I know you have your arsenal of samples, and that you play around and you mix and work with your samples to make awesome sounds, which is cool. But I thought I'd give it a go. And so what I've done, I've recorded some sounds around the house as my samples. So there's 10 all up, and we're going to play them, and we're going to see how many you can guess. It's pretty much guess the sound. So you ready to play?
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
All right, let's start with number 1. Dino.
Opening up a cold can.
A cold can, yes it is. You can tell by the fizzy bubbly. That is number 1. Good, 1 for 1. You know your samples well. Number 2.
Flush in the toilet.
Very good, very good. Hey, quick little side story. We had a water main burst near our house today, and we flushed the toilet, and it's all brown because all dirt's got into the water main. But anyway. Yeah.
Shitty situation.
Yeah. All right, number 3.
It's something. Is it a washing machine?
No, I'll give you one more guess.
Oh, okay. Oh.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No.
It's opening the cutlery drawer.
Cutlery.
All right, good. 2 from 3, not bad. Number 4. Let's do number 4.
Oh, sounds like a skateboard.
One more time.
Literally sounds like someone skating on the road. Like, no.
All right, it's a Blu-ray going into the PlayStation 4.
Blu-ray I actually don't own a PS4, so damn.
CDs are pretty much almost redundant these days. All right, what are we up to? Number 5.
The light turning on and off.
Yeah,
Yes.
good job. Yeah, light switch, yes. Number 6.
Is it like something going down a drain?
All close. Before the drain.
Oh, washing dishes?
Yes, washing dishes.
Yeah.
Good, 4 from 6. Let's do 7.
Oh, keyboard, typing away.
Yes, good.
Spent a lot of my time doing that.
5 from 7. Let's go number 8.
I know that sound very good. Chopping, scissors.
Yeah, scissors, very good. 6 from 8. With the headphones on, does it sound like you're getting a haircut? Does it sound like...
Yeah. It's getting a little snip going.
Very good. Number 9. We've got 2 more.
Oh, birds outside.
Oh, you missed the end part.
Or closing a door.
Yes, closing a door. Slamming the door shut.
Good
Yeah,
on.
good. All right, we're 7 from 9. Let's finish on 80%. Number 10.
Sounded like a vacuum. Oh,
It is a vacuum cleaner.
yeah.
Well done. 8 from 10. That was pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I see you know your samples very well. Yes. Sensei would be proud.
Oh, thank you. Blessed. Namaste.
Very good. Well, Dylan, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Any shout outs you want to give to any people?
Honestly, shout out to you guys. Shout out to my family, all my fellow producers, everyone that's gotten around the album, like especially in this time, like truly blessed for it all. And like, thank you guys so much. Love you all, honestly. And yeah, excited for the road ahead and just gonna keep giving it my best by the day. So thank you guys.
Awesome, man. And we're looking forward to your live stream as well and all the new music that you have coming out as well. Dylan, thank you so much and all the best. Take care.
Legend. Thank you, man. Have a good one.
Thanks again to Haber for joining us on the show today, and be sure to check out his brand new album Manifestation of the Celestial. It's really good and it's on all streaming platforms. Make sure you like this video, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any content coming up in the future. But most importantly, like I said earlier, share this video because we're really trying to help an industry that's been hurt by the coronavirus pandemic, and by sharing this video, you're going to help those that work within it, and we'd really appreciate that. Once again, I'm Stephen, the man with the mustache, and thanks for tuning in to the Creative Arts Show. We'll catch you next time.